I was just wondering today, what are you doing with the gifts that you have been given? You know, the Bible says that our children are a gift to be used and trained to follow God. By the way, I'm Pastor Ernie Lewis of the Blue Point Church in Sisney, Illinois, with your thoughts for Tuesday. This week, as we look at our heritage, we see the promise of Psalm 127 and verse 3. He says, "Behold, children are a heritage from the Lord. The fruit of the womb is a reward. Like arrows in the hand of a warrior, so are the children of one's youth. Happy is the man who has his quiver full of them. They shall not be ashamed, but shall speak with their enemies in the gate." You know, the psalmist reminds us that children are a special gift that we should cherish. First of all, we see that the fruit of the womb is actually a reward. So many examples of barren women in the Word prayed earnestly for an offspring. Those like Hannah and Elizabeth, Sarah, Rachel, even the wife of Manoah wanted to have a child, and they prayed that God would bless them. And when one is blessed to have children, they must recognize that this is the reward of the Lord. But the Bible also calls our children a heritage from the Lord. He is preparing us to live beyond our lifetime with a heritage for the future. To be able to leave a legacy or an inheritance and a tradition for our lives, we must have children. He says, children of one's youth are like arrows in the hand of a warrior. Now, first, let me remind you that arrows are precious, okay? They cannot be wasted. It's not like some multi-cartridge magazine, holding 15 or 20 rounds of ammo. But then again, ammo is pretty precious too. It's scarce in these days, but the warrior would take careful aim and skill to send one of his arrows on its mission into battle. He was wanting it to do its strategic mission without error. Well, so are the children of one's youth. They are precious. They are a gift, trained for their specific mission. Now, certainly the training of children as well as grandchildren is to serve the Lord. Deuteronomy 6 is a command that we're to follow. And they told the children of Israel entering into the promised land, first of all, teach your children the Shema, to love the Lord your God with all your heart and all your soul and all your might. Then he says, teach them diligently when you sit down in your house or when you walk by the way, when you lie down, when you rise up. And beware lest you forget the Lord who brought you out of the Egypt into this land of promise in the Canaan land. Children are a heritage, and happy is the man whose quiver is full of them. This means that Christian families has a great opportunity to extend the gospel like those arrows, aimed carefully at a lost and dying world that need to hear the truth. He also reminds us that this family shall not be ashamed. When we train up our children to serve the Lord, they will have guides for their lives in order to follow them. And he says they will speak with their enemies in the gate. Rather than being troublemakers, our heritage will be peacemakers. They will be called the sons of God, Jesus said. So let's realize the heritage of children and train them to follow the Lord.